Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So yesterday, or last day, I keep saying yesterday like it was yesterday. Last week, Friday, I think, I did a video starting to go through and building this application to keep track of my climbs, my rock climbs. And I went through kind of the beginning of setting up a repository, picking out some libraries that I'll be using. And now we're just going to get into the trend. Hopefully I'll post one of these every morning, or hopefully every day at some point, every weekday at least. That's just working on the app. So today I haven't done any designs, but this is what I have. I'm going to start on designs, and you'll see a bit of the design process and how I think about design and that sort of thing. So let's jump into it. So here's my Figma. Now I'm going to do another caveat. Again, not professional with Figma. I'm such a noob here. You're going to see things, and if you are good at Figma, you're just going to cry at what I do. So all the tips are helpful. Anyway, we're just going to dive right in. So all I have is this. I have this like homepage or this landing page, whatever you want to call it. And I think we'll stick to the marketing site at the end. And what we'll start with is just the interface in which we want to be able to actually take pictures of the routes and kind of input the information. So let's go ahead and start that. I'm going to copy this to a new page. It's going to go over here, add a new page. I'm going to call it, what should I call it? I'm going to call it form, for lack of a better word. Good, and then I will paste this in. And I'm just gonna paste it in here just for, I like the color for having the colors. I know you can put colors in Figma and that sort of thing, but I haven't done that yet. And so we'll just leave it up there, and I can pull colors from this, which will be good. Okay, from there we'll add a new frame. I also don't know any of the shortcuts. F is for frame. There we go. And we'll start on the phone. I think because I don't really have my laptop to take pictures with at the climbing gym, so I'm gonna use my phone. And I have this phone here, Pixel 2 XL. So I'll use this one. I figure that's a kind of good intermediate size. I'm not going to design it for the iPhone because it's a bit silly, the iPhone. The different was a weird kind of size, even though probably more people have it. Okay, so here we go. Here's our app. Just a blank screen. There's a couple things we're going to probably want to put in here. One is maybe the header. We're probably going to want some sort of field inputs, that sort of thing, and then maybe a submit button. And one of those inputs is being able to trigger a photo. So let's go ahead and maybe start with just what the header might look like. I'm gonna zoom in. Okay, maybe like a normal header. Do you want a normal header? Or do you want like some sort of, so I want to talk about normal header. So I'll put a box in here. Oh, oh, why am I editing it like this? Up here, do it the full width. And I think we'll go with like something like 50 pixels high. There, so something like, you want like a header like this, or like possibly do we want to do something a bit more fancy with our header? And since it's on mobile, more than likely want it down at the bottom. It's just easier for thumbs. And I'm thinking like we do some sort of radius and we shrink this thing up like this. I'm not sure if it needs to be this wide, and then we'll center it. And you can kind of give it a bit of padding on there. It's 5 pixels of padding. There, 8. Maybe let's try 16. Yeah, okay. Or something like this. Whoopsies. So I'm not sure which one we might prefer to have. I like the style of this, so we'll try and design it with this in mind first. We can actually probably throw actions in here as well as the menu. So this is going to be our kind of header. We're going to need a few things to happen on it. What happened? Why can't I click anything? Okay, here we go. That was odd. Okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to change this. I'm going to give it a background shadow, so let's give it a drop shadow. Not that significant. Layer blur. No, drop shadow. I'm just clicking things all over the place. So let's go with like a 50%. Ooh, wrong way. 25% is fine. But let's do it Y2, so not as deep. Okay, and just a bit more blurry. Like 10? There we go. Okay, so that's kind of make it look like it's floating. And then I want to do it white. There we are. Wonderful. And then we're going to edit inside of this thing. I'm not going to make it a component, I think. I think I'll just leave it as it is right now. maybe make it a group at the end. I'm going to put a box in here. I'm not sure this is the best way of doing things, but we shall see if I get any comments being like, what are you doing? Awful. So I'm going to line these up like this, make this square 50 by 50, and then on this side here, I think I made it 8. Ooh, wrong side. 8. There we go. Get rid of this one back to 0. And 8, just so it kind of fits in that corner. And I want to give it a stroke. Let's see. I can only do one side strokes, right? Yeah, unfortunate. So let's take that off. I'll just do a line here from the top to the bottom. Now, I think usually people would want to start with like low fidelity mockups, and that might do that on paper. But this, just for the sake of YouTube and the ability to like draw things out. I'm also not the type of person who does low fidelity right now. I think I probably should start doing it. I just try to jump right in. I'm like, yep, here we go. This is what we're doing. Good. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to make this sort of like a menu. Let's take a look at some colors. See what we got for colors. Like a blue, light blue. That looks okay. And we need some sort of gray that's like a black but not black kind of color. This looks like might be what it is. Okay, I think that's maybe a kind of green tinge. That's fine. Perfect. Actually, I don't like this color. Something closer to white. Aha, there we go. Lovely. And let's toss some icons in there. I need plugins. Content reel. Let's use material design icons for now. We'll search for a menu. Whoopsies. Not that type of menu. Is there a dot menu? What? Give me those 3 dots. All I want is 3 dots. Music more. Aha! There we go. Toss this in here. I don't like having frames inside of frames. This is why probably I'm a bad person for Figma. Like, just give me this icon, the actual vector. There. Get rid of this frame. Okay, let's start grouping up some things here. So group this together. That way, at the very least, I can center this nicely. Oopsie. There we go. Center that nicely inside of that box. I'm going to change the color of that vector actually as well. There, so it matches our border. And we'll take this and we'll join it up as a group with this vector. So group that. Perfect. So there's kind of like our menu sort of button, like our more. And I'll do like an open state in a minute of that. The other things we'll have here is we want to toss actions in this. So it's probably best just to have one big action, which probably makes the most sense. Especially if this is going to be our form, it might make the most sense to this be like submit or save or something like that. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll just say save. And this is the preferred font I have. That is. And we'll make it maybe, let's just go with bold for actions. And we'll start it off at, I think, 1 rem of text size. Boom, there we go. That doesn't look quite centered. Let's measure it from 70. So yeah, 70. There we go, that's centered. So it's centered because over here to this line, 71 pixels, and over to the end over here, 71. There we go, and it's about, there we go, 30 pixels high, low. Good, okay, the weird thing about this is it's gonna look off-centered because the text is off to the side, even though this button is centered. So maybe that will be an issue to solve, or we can just move it over so that it's saved in the center. Either way. So for now, that'll be okay. Good. We probably should give this a little title as well. Let's give this page a title, something like save new climb. Something simple. We'll keep it bold. We'll make it a bit bigger than that. We'll make it 36. That's not right. 32. 2 rems doesn't seem right. 24. 1.5. There we go. Perfect. Bring this to the top. Let's just center that this way. And we'll make it a bit higher from the top. 24. Let's 32. Lots of space. There we go. Save new climb. Now it does definitely feel like this is just not centered at all, even though it is. That's fine. Okay. We can actually just group this together. I'm going to name that one loading menu. We'll come back to that for sure because I'm definitely not in love with it. Okay, so save new climb. Now we just have to go into form fields. Now, what I'm thinking is that each input will be driven by, or each save or each climb will be driven by what the picture is. So let's go ahead and toss in sort of like a picture input type deal. I'm going to try and just bring it 32 pixels to the edge on one side, similar on the other side. I'm sure I could do some math here and calculate it, but I'm just going to drag it like a fool. 40 and move it 4. Is that enough? 30. 2 more. 1, 2. There we go. Okay, 32, 32. Perfect. Okay, and then how much distance from this? 48. That seems reasonable. Wonderful. About 46, I think, is the even split, so we'll go 46 there. Okay, we'll give this a full radius of 8. Wonderful. I don't think any opacity on that makes sense, but we should write some text on there. Maybe give it this different type of gray. This gray looks nice. And then give it a shadow. No, no shadow. I lied. Take away the shadow. No shadow. Get some text on there, though. Take her photo of climb. I'm going to stick with boulders because right now they're, you'll do climb, of wall. There we go. We should say take a photo of the wall. Ah, it's hard. I'll just keep it as photo as well. Photo of wall. Photo of wall. If we really want to, we can do like a little thing below that explains. So I'm gonna group these together. Click this, click that, group them together. Then we'll take this and we'll center it. Good. I'm gonna put an icon in there as well, I think. All right, and I want this to be more whitey. Is that hard to read? It's pretty hard to read. Maybe it has to be black or like pure white. Let's try pure white. Yeah, it feels hard. It feels hard to read. I'll do it as like a gray, like our signature, what we call our signature black. Here, this should actually be that as well. There we go. Nice and soft. Is this one solid black? It is. Darn me. There we go. That's better. Nice and soft. Okay, photo of wall. And we need to make sure this is kind of like a, we can actually make it bigger. There, we'll put a button in that says upload or like take photo. Now, this will not be pixel perfect because I'm using Geist UI when it comes to actually doing the development. So I'm not going to try and match these pixel perfect. So the button I make here is not going to be exactly the button that you should expect in the final product. So here, let's see, this is 22 pixels from here. It's not part of the group yet, so let's get that in there. 20 pixels, 22 pixels, so I can move it up 1. Oops, down 1 actually. 21 pixels, 21 pixels, perfect. Except we should probably group them more together. 12 pixels, 8. Yeah, there we go. 38, 34, very close. So if you group these together, we can center them this way. There. Now this button, I like yellow is kind of the main actions. I think it's the same yellow here. It doesn't look the same. But this is a component, so let me just copy and paste this component actually. I'll use the button component instead. Paste that in. Oh, it's huge. So scale that down a bit. There, in this text as well. 12 pixels. And we can say take photo. Oops. Make sure that's the right size and everything. Oopsies. There we go. Oop. Good. back in here. Bring this component into this group. We wanted them 8 pixels apart. Perfect, and then we'll just take this and center it. Ah, lovely. Take photo is the photo of the wall. We don't take the photo. I'll toss an icon in there just to make it look nice later. Perfect. We'll have to have a new state of like, what does this look like once it's uploaded and everything like that. That's fine. And then the other form fields here, we don't want to save a climb. We just want to do the photo of the wall. We more than likely just want to do the grade. Although I'm hoping at the end, like we could, like collecting all these photos, we can definitely figure out or take a guess at the grade, which would be kind of cool. The grade, and then just some way of like incrementing the number of attempts. So if we go, and then if we sent it or not. So let's create like kind of an input field here. Definitely this big. There, I'm just gonna make it the same width. Again, I probably could just, let me do that actually. I'll just go in here, copy this rectangle, and I'll shrink it up. Boom, there's a nice solid input, except I don't want it to be part of that group. Get out of here. Did I take it? I didn't take it out of the group. Out of the group. There. Perfect. So it's 46. This one here is also 46, yeah. But except we need to put some label on it. So let's toss in, and I think for most of the input fields, they're going to be white. Or we can do like an off-white on them, and they'll have a border. So let's do a stroke in there of our lovely gray color or our blackish color. And I like 2 pixels. It just feels more like solid there. And maybe we will do it white and not this off-white, bluey off-white. Good. We might have too many styles in one go. Again, I guess it's not a huge deal. I was probably just speccing this out so that we can get a design down because I'll be using Geist UI. But that's all right. So let's do grade. Grade. And the text is definitely way too big. This size. What did I pick on this size of text? 16. We'll do that. 16. There we go. Boom. And because of that border radius, we'll move it in a little bit. So grade, perfect. And then we'll group these things together. Group. We need the grade. And we should probably actually do, instead of something like this. So we have grade, we have attempts, which should not be a text input. And then we also have sent, which I'm not sure, like, is it sended? Did you send her out, but did you sended it? Or is it, did you sent it? Sent? I'll have to figure out the lingo later, which will be also a yes, no. So these like 2 fields here are yes, no selectors. So I wonder if I should do like buttons, yes or no, or if I should just do like maybe a circle. Let's do this, shrink that down. That's still quite huge. 24, maybe that'd be a good size. Good, we'll get, oh, I didn't copy it. I always do that wrong. So 2 of those. What we could probably do here is like go and grab this box here. Put this outside, except under those. And then have these 2 like spread, like group in the middle. And we can move them specific widths across. So maybe like 100 from the inside that way. And this one can be 100 from the inside this way. There. Good, and then we can just hide this. I don't know what the shortcut is for hide. Let me see. Hide. Oh, it's not showing me a shortcut. Either way, there we go. So that's kind of centered in the middle. Move this down below. I'll grab this and we'll put these below like that. Oh, except I'm not doing attempts shouldn't be this. My mistake. Let's go and show this as well. So let's move all of these elements here. And we can adjust the size of those things later. Interesting, this should be over here. Okay, there we go. That makes me feel better. So did we send it or not? Yes. And then duplicate. No. We haven't sent it yet. Which is, I'm only kind of adding this if, if we, why can't it center on that thing? Brutal. Change the text size maybe. If we're adding this like post a climb is where it kind of only makes sense. It might be kind of, otherwise it's kind of annoying like to click yes or no when I sent it every time. And you can probably also, oh no, it makes sense to kind of have it, I guess. So no can center. Why can't yes center on this text field? Maybe that's centered. Okay, it's 4 pixels. This one's 4 pixels. Great. Okay, perfect. So let's then take these and make them white with a stroke. Good. Of course, the stroke will be our off color there. And then this one here will actually be our selected one. So I'm going to duplicate this all the time. Duplicate this. We'll shrink it down. 16 maybe makes sense. It's there. Put it in the center. There. Bring it to the top so we can see it. Lovely. But what I'm going to do instead of this is there's going to be no stroke, and the color will actually be this yellow color. And this will just be our white with a stroke of the dark. Okay, good. So do we send it, yes or no? The default is no. And the attempts is sort of this nice incrementing button. I could probably just group all this together, actually. Oh, sent is already in a group, so that's lovely. I can take all this and just move it in here. Same with this one. Ooh, perfect. Okay, something like this. It's probably have to move down. And then, yes, so the incrementing, how do I want to go about that? I feel like it's just some sort of something in the middle, like some big number in the middle, and then an up and down button on each side. So let's go ahead and grab our button component here and copy it into this group. And then we'll have like a +1. Probably shrink it a bit there. And -1. Good. And then we'll do an input in the middle. I'll grab this input. Copy. Oh, these buttons are just flat out there. It's group 7. Yeah. Paste it in here. There. Except this group here is small, like this. Perfect. In the middle. And so you could probably still be able to like edit this without clicking those buttons, but I feel like it'd be nice just to have, quick up and down buttons. There, and I'm just going to toss in, I can make this a little bit taller actually as well. There. Good, and I will toss in some example text because I do want it to, I do want it to look and understand it's going to be bigger. Let's have it like a, somehow I just set the opacity. Stop it. Edit the text. Oh darn, it's a shape. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Copy, paste. There we go. Edit the text. 3. We'll put it in the middle of this. Bring it to the top. Oh, where to go? Bring it to the top. Here. And we want to make it like 36. Something like that. It's a bigger set of text. Now, this. Move it so we center the screen. Okay. There we go. There's our like super basic interface. I kind of like this. And so maybe next time we'll just start programming that without any of the other content. We probably want to get like authentication and stuff done as well, but maybe a simple task just to go in and toss these together. All right, thanks for watching. Next time we'll give a go and implement all this screen you'll see that the elements will change, but hopefully the color palette won't. Maybe that's a good idea to start with as well, just call it the color palette. All right, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I will be doing some more videos, picking up where I left off on the rest of the YouTube channel. So watch along, and we'll hopefully get more videos up this month than I have almost the entire year. Okay, see you later.